What's up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I actually wasn't going to film today, but I got this news report that shots were fired at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. And we are going to go back to the former President Donald Trump and his campaign in Pennsylvania.
A year and a half ago, we were
And
seeing
let's see what's
crowds of
going on here.
people desperate to have rallies, desperate to have anything to take back our country. A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Secret Service came up quick.
We're watching here live this event happening over in Pennsylvania, and it seems like popping sounds over in the background. We've had the Secret Service members kind of have former President Donald Trump duck there from the podium. I'm going to pump up the audio so we can keep listening into this happening right now.
Get ready. You ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move. Let's move. We're clear. Come on. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold on, your head is bloody. So we gotta go move to the class. Let me get my shoes. Okay, my shoes down. Watch out.
Okay, they are escorting the former President Donald Trump away from this podium over in Pennsylvania. You just heard moments ago what sounded like a popping noise. No confirmation as of yet as to what that could have been. It really could be anything at this point. We don't know if it was shots fired in the distance. We don't know if it was possibly fireworks or something of that nature. But you see that entire crowd there really just kind of rampant in this situation. I am going to take them off the screen because we do see some vulgarities, having their middle fingers pointed to the screen. But we are monitoring this situation very closely. The former president being escorted from this over in Butler, Pennsylvania, where he was hosting this rally. And you did hear moments ago a popping sound. You saw the former president duck down behind the podium. You saw Secret Service members step up there, shield the president, and escort him to safety at this moment.
Wow.
We don't know if this event is going to continue on after all of that.
Probably not.
We do have some live reporters there on the ground. I want to go ahead and take their shot as they are reporting there live from the event over in Butler, Pennsylvania. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
And we're not sure exactly where those shots came from at this point. We're trying to figure it out, but I can't put into words how shocking it was to the people in the crowd. And to me, as you're trying to figure out if you're okay, what's going on, was he shot, was he wounded? Then we heard him on the microphone, Shannon, saying, let me grab my shoes, as they tried to take them off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened.
Who's this guy? What's going on here?
I got him. Nobody can tackle them, and then the guns came up.
They can't hear my name.
What? Okay, so here what we're taking a look at once again is a live report down there on the ground in Butler, Pennsylvania, where we did hear some shots in the background of this event for former President Donald Trump hosting this rally, speaking to his supporters there. We do have a reporter. I'm going to keep pumping up the audio. It does seem that they're doing a live report for Fox News. Let's listen in and see if they have any more developments to share. Okay, so you see there the reporter that we have on the ground. I do also have this vantage point where we see here a number of law enforcement officials trying to stabilize this crowd at the moment. No doubt it is very difficult, the situation for anybody that was in attendance to this event. It could possibly be a dangerous situation. No reports as of yet to what those shots were. We did hear that popping sound in the back.
Here's a photo that was just sent over to me. You can clearly see that there's some blood coming from former President Donald Trump's ear. And then here is another photo that I'll share. Let's get back to this report.
I'd like to go back to this replay and show you all what it is that just went down for anyone who may have.
Here's another image that was just sent to me. Not sure what is going on, but we are going to figure it out.
I'm going to cue it up here. Let's watch this so you can see exactly what happened and why the former president was escorted off there. So let's take a look. This happened just moments ago.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
He clearly grabbed his ear. Secret Service came up quick. There was another shot fired somewhere.
Hold. When you're ready, on you. Ready? Move. Move. Go. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the stair. Get ready. You ready? Stop. Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move. We're clear. Come on. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes. Hold on, your head is bloody. So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes. Watch out. Wait.
Okay, you just saw there that entire scenario that happened just moments ago at a campaign rally for former President Donald Trump over in Butler, Pennsylvania. We did have on the Chiron just before the screen here shots heard, but we have not had a confirmation on what that noise was. So we are going to continue to refer to it as popping noises. You did just hear it there on the screen. That is what we heard. But of course, out of an abundance of caution, the Secret Service rushed to the stage there in order to protect the former president. He ducked behind the podium. We do still have a live look out at that event. I'd like to bring it up here just so we can continue to monitor this situation. The crowd is dispersing at the moment, and we do see that we have a reporter on the ground there for Fox News, hopefully providing some more commentary for this. But this is a developing story at the moment. This is the first time in this campaign season that we have aired a live event for a presidential candidate, and we have seen such a situation play out. It was a huge crowd of supporters that did come out to Butler to see the former president. And this is developing. Let's get back out to the reporter down there on the ground, continuing to give us the latest on this situation.
Several pops. And then he was on the floor. We saw the Secret Service move in. We saw people walking in with the federal authorities with their arms drawn, their guns. And then also all throughout the hours leading up to this, we saw these snipers up here on the roof there trying to survey the crowd and make sure everybody that came in was checked. And that's what we see when we go to all these events, especially when the Secret Service is involved. They check as many people as they can. People were out here for like 12 hours almost waiting, some of these people. We don't know if the person who fired these shots was in to the crowd mixed in. After former President Trump was moved off that stage and rushed away and the motorcade left, we did see some Secret Service members and possibly state police moving in, again with their guns drawn and looking like they possibly took somebody in for questioning or custody. We couldn't see, but there was a lot of movement over there to the other side of the stage. That was after the former president was carted off. He yelled, Shannon, as you might have heard during those remarks, after they picked him up, he said, "Let me grab my shoes." I mean, he had fallen to the ground. They were trying to do everything they could to make sure that he was okay. He walked off the stage, and before he left, he pumped his fist into that crowd, and everybody started cheering, "Make America Great Again." But to come to these events, right, when you see the Secret Service, you know there's possibly this risk for the former president to come in when there's these big crowds. But they really did everything they could, it looked like, to check everyone. We went through several metal detectors. You know, they check your backpack. They wand people down.
I wonder what it was.
And it takes a long time for those people to get in because they're so thorough. So at this point, not sure if this person who fired either a weapon or it almost sounded like, you know, it was just some type of little pops, like explosives. And then to see that smoke come up, we'll have to figure out exactly what this was that was either thrown or fired. But to see the president on the ground there, you know, people were crying when they were leaving and very upset.
Wow.
So while we listen here to this reporter that we have on the screen, of course, they are speaking back to our Fox News channel anchors. So you do see them there kind of nodding along, waiting for those questions. I am going to pop them back forward here as soon as they continue to give us more developments. But again, breaking news right now, a very tense situation over in Butler, Pennsylvania, where former President Donald Trump hosting a rally there. And then we heard popping noises in the background. It was a really chaotic scene for a moment there, and really at the start of when the former president was making his remarks. I'd like to pull up this tweet right now from Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson here, continuing to report on this breaking news. It says, reports of shots fired at Trump rally in Butler, PA. Secret Service rushed the former president off stage with his fist raised. We saw all of that happen in real time, and I would like to bring it up again. For anyone that may just be joining us, this is a developing story. We're still working to learn more about what exactly happened there. Again, it was popping noises. We do not know if there is a danger to any of the attendees at this event at the moment. This just happened about 10 minutes ago. I'd like to pull up once again the moments when this all went down in Butler, Pennsylvania at a campaign rally for former President Trump. Let's watch.
That's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Wow.
Move his there. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Move. Go. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the stand. Get ready. Get ready. You ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. We're clear. Let's move. We're clear. Come on. me get my shoes. I got you, sir. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold up, you're headed, bloody. So we gotta move to the bus.
Wow.
Let me get my shoes. Okay, what's up?
All right, you see there again moments ago when the former president was just starting to speak at this campaign rally over in Butler, Pennsylvania, and you heard that popping noise, and now he was escorted by Secret Service agents. We do have the Fox News reporter still on the ground. It looks like she's about to get ready to bring us some more developments. I'd like to take this for you live.
That's, we were saying in the beginning, like, you don't know exactly what it was that we heard. But it sounded like, possible fireworks or explosions, and it was multiple pops in a row. And the screaming you hear below, Fetzer, I'm going to have you kind of show here. These are kind of just some people that are very upset after what happened, Shannon. So that's why you hear the screaming, but they're blaming kind of what's going on with the media, saying it's the media's fault. So that's what's going on right now. But going back to exactly what we heard, so it was like that series of pops, and then something also important to point out was that smoke. So in terms of what kind of possible weapon or explosive was used, we're still trying to figure it out. The former president did either probably fall to the ground, was pushed to the ground pretty quickly when they all popped up there, the Secret Service, and tried to jump in and protect him. We saw people swarm. I mean, this place is full of law enforcement, right? Shannon, from going to these large events like this. They check every single person when they come in. They check your bag. They check everything. They want people down. So they were just trying to figure out exactly who was in the crowd, if it was coming from that crowd here where you can see where thousands of people were waiting here, or if it was somebody kind of on the outside, on the perimeter, kind of here, where he was able to kind of drive up in his motorcade, because there is just a retention pond in some areas back here. Like the main road that the former president actually drove in on is behind that red barn. So there is some open areas in the neighborhood and the house back there. So in terms of if the person even had to be in the property, I don't think so, because you could have thrown something, like if it was a firework or some type of explosive like that, right over the fence. So I think it just really caught everybody by surprise. In terms of him grabbing his ear when he came back up, I don't know exactly what kind of injury he possibly had, but he was able to say to them, let me grab my shoes, and then tried to walk away with dignity. He tried to send that message by putting up his fist and telling the American people and these voters here in the swing state that he was out here to connect with them and talk about improving America and getting back to the White House. But this is always something you kind of think about when you're going through security and getting wanted, how they have to be so careful when it's somebody so important up on that stage, and there's so many people that are in close proximity of them. They need to do their best to make sure that he's safe. And today it shows what can happen.
Wow.
All right, listening there once again to the reporter out there in Butler, Pennsylvania. She is talking back with our partners over at Fox News channel, discussing the latest that happened over at this campaign rally for the former president. He was just starting his remarks. This was set to get underway at around 2 p.m. West Coast time, 5 p.m. East Coast time, when he was expected to give these remarks. We saw a lot of supporters convening there, waiting for the former president. We have been waiting for him to speak as well, ready to take it live for you as soon as that got underway. And as soon as it did, basically like 5 minutes in, not even, we heard those popping noises and the Secret Service rushing to the stage to protect the former president. We do still have this live vantage point out there. You can see the crowd has really dispersed. Everybody that was behind the former president is being led off of those bleachers. And this sign on the podium kind of shows the chaos that happened there and how quickly Secret Service reacted, how quickly they went to the former president's aid. Of course, we're still working to learn what those popping noises were. No idea just yet if there is any danger to people that are in the area, if anybody had malicious intent while attending this event. But you can see that this entire crowd is basically gone already from Butler, Pennsylvania. All of these seats were filled. We saw that crowd just moments ago, ready, waiting, chanting for the former president. And then this entire situation unfolded there. So some people kind of standing around, also very jarring. It was very chaotic, and we heard screaming in the background when those popping noises first sounded off. We did see the former president kind of duck down there, and we see obviously some people walking up to the camera.
I'm gonna see if I can find something else. some more leading stories on what's going on here. Let's see.
Move his hair. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move.
Lee Harvey Oswald did get away from the book depository.
All right, Hal, we are just hitting the top of the hour, just after 4 p.m. on the.
Because they would say, it's like, what is that? They might mistake it for a weapon.
So we have here the statement in full. It's a bit cut off, but I will read it to you in full. It says this. An incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures, and the former president is safe. This is how an active Secret Service investigation and further information will be released when available. Continuing on with some more reaction from Twitter, we also have another Fox News correspondent here, Jackie Heinrich, saying just now from the White House, the president has received an initial briefing on the incident at former President Trump's rally. We're waiting to learn more about what Biden has to say on this situation. Then we have here a tweet from Team Trump via his spokesperson. President Trump thanks law enforcement and first responders for their quick action during this heinous act. He is fine and is being checked out at a local medical facility. More details will follow. And then we also have a tweet from his son, Donald Trump Jr., with a photo here from that rally saying he'll never stop fighting to save America. In this photo, you can also see the blood on the former president's face at the top of his right ear. We did see the moments when he reached for that right ear and he went down behind the podium trying to take cover in this situation. It was very quick, very chaotic. We played it for you here as all of that went down. Let's bring back into the conversation now our national security expert, counterterrorism expert, and also as someone who has worked closely.
Man, definitely. What a great, not necessarily what a great incident, but this is a really powerful image. In regards of Secret Service and rally campaigns moving forward, both for former President Donald Trump and for Joe Biden, I think it's imperative that security measures are increased. It reminds me of a situation that occurred with JFK. JFK is that whole situation with JFK. I'm going to see if I can find any more information to give to you guys here.
Shooters down. Are we good to move?
Looks like they're just replaying this. I'm gonna go over to. I'm gonna see if anybody else is covering this right now.
Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes. Hold on, your head is bloody. So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes. Okay, my shoes down. Watch out.
Okay, there you have it, the very scary, intense moments from earlier today in Butler of Pennsylvania. They're at a campaign rally for the former president. We do have a breaking news at this moment, courtesy of Blake Hansen over at Fox News. Here, he says the AP is confirming shooter dead and rally attendee killed at Trump event in Pennsylvania.
Whoa.
Butler County District Attorney tells the AP.
Whoa, shooter dead at the rally. Shooter dead and rally attendee killed at Donald Trump event in Pennsylvania.
Continue on dissecting this entire chain of events and where this investigation goes from here.
Let me. I'm gonna swing over to PBD. PBD's doing a live broadcast as well.
This isn't by accident, PBD. This isn't something that just happens. This lone gunman. No. He's brainwashed. He's told to do it. And who really knows who's behind it, Pat? After reading that book, Chaos, MK Ultra, CIA, brainwashing people with LSD and hypnosis, who knows? We're never going to know. But I'm telling you, there's meetings happening right now where they're going, shit, he missed. That's what's happening. Those are the conversations, and they're all pissed off. None of them are concerned. You think any of them are worried about the orange bad man Hitler? I don't believe it. Pat, you're not going to hear nothing from any of them, period. And that's the end of the story.
Wow.
I'll say this to you. I'll go back to the same idea. When you're at a bar or at a restaurant, you have kids. I have kids. Other people there have kids. Some are Democrats, Republican, white, black, Christian, Muslim. A guy comes in, starts shooting. Politics is out the window. Everybody's thinking about how to protect their kids and their wife and their families, right? Immediately, yes. Politics out the window. Okay. Trust me, America does not want a civil war. Trust me, America does not want a civil war. And if America wants to have a civil war, we won't be 50 states. It'll be 46 states.
I agree.
It'll be 45 states. Texas is going to be like, listen, check this out. It's just too much.
Yep.
It's too much. We're not dealing with the same. You guys do your thing. We got our own economy, oil, resources, military. We'll be all right. You guys go do your thing.
Wow.
We're out of here. We'll fund it ourselves. We'll fund Fort Hood ourselves. Don't worry about it. You're okay. We'll take the federal
Wow. I'm speechless here. I'm going to go back to Fox News, see if they have anything else breaking here.
Trump. This is not out of the question that this could have been some sort of collateral damage.
Oh, the attendee that was killed certainly was collateral damage. I would say at this point, the working assumption would be that President Trump was the target. I don't think anybody would assume that they were aiming at anybody else. I can't imagine any scenario where someone would plan to murder someone or to shoot someone at a presidential rally. That just wouldn't happen. That wouldn't make any sense. So obviously President Trump was the target, but look, he's surrounded by people. If you look at what's going on there are so many people around him. Initially, when we heard anybody had been hit, I was a little bit surprised. There are so many people there that if a round came from almost any direction, one might assume it was going to hit somebody. And of course, it does tell you something that it not only hit someone, but they are deceased, which will, I could make some inferences on, without knowing anything about the ballistics, that it has to be a fairly substantial round that would do that. So I'm thinking it could be a very small caliber round, and that would be consistent with what we heard. But with that said, now that I know that somebody in the area was actually killed, depending on how many rounds were fired, it could be a larger caliber. That's the issue right now. We don't know much. It could have been something as small as a 22, which is a very small round. It could have been something larger, like a 380. Those tend to be smaller rounds, or sometimes called 9mm short.
Yep.
Those are smaller rounds, or
it sounded, because of the sound. I'm not a gun expert or anything like that, but it did sound like a smaller round, like a 22 or a 380, something of that capacity.
25 caliber round. These are all smaller rounds. And these might be rounds that somebody would put in, say, an improvised firearm.
Yep.
That they could basically sneak
Easily
into
conceal.
a rally like this and maybe
sneak
use
in.
it as a weapon. They wouldn't have.
Yep. Let's go back to PBD.
Triple down security as much as you can. By the way, why can't we put glass on the side so nobody can shoot them?
Yeah.
Why can't we put stuff in the front
Obama
so
had
nobody
it.
can shoot them?
Obama had
Why
it.
can't there even be a glass in the front and the side And then the mic is going to have I mean, there's plenty of creative AV. We work with a lot of creative AVs. Why can't an AV put bulletproof windows and glass everywhere he speaks on this?
I remember the first time that President Obama spoke. I think it was the State of the Union. So Obama had it a couple different times with the protective glass around. You guys can see it here. Yeah, very
On the front.
Interesting.
Yes, there's going to be a little bit of a, what do you call it, reflection or stuff that we can't properly lighting. Guys, why can't they put that? And he's speaking, put the speakers, big ass speakers in the front, on the side, in the back, so people can hear it. But you know for a fact he's got bulletproof windows. Why can't you do that? Why can't you just go spend $10 million and $5 million and this glass travels with him no matter where he goes?
Yeah, I agree with PVD there. Interesting. As this story kind of evolves, I'll continue to share some findings on this. But again, breaking news: shots were fired. An individual was collateral damage at former President Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally, and the shooter was also obtained. Crazy. Let me get you guys' thoughts on this. Other than that, I'm going to be searching to see what the heck's going on here and then give you guys updates. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.